Well, hello, my fabulous friends. I hope you're doing well. Well, are we all excited? The big election is tomorrow in Canada. Either way, we'll have a new prime minister, no matter what party wins, which who knows? Who knows? All right. So, just to be clear, I am pulling for the Conservatives, so I do have a bias in this. When I was doing the U.S. election, I would say I have no dog in this fight because I don't. I can't vote in there. I could only read the cards. So if I'm going to try my best to read exactly what the cards are telling me, not what I hope for. And this is why a lot of tarot card readers can't read for themselves, is because they read into the cards what they want to hear. At least that's my experience, and I know a lot of other card readers have the same experience, so we trade with each other. So that being said, I want to word this correctly because I've already asked this deck 4 times about the election, but each time I made sure to say if the election was held today. All right, so to this time I'm going to ask the cards who will win the election on April 28th, the final day of the election. Who will win the vote on April 28th, the Canadian election vote? And I'm not going to put the person because the person could lose their seat. Whereas the whole election was based on personality, right? But at the end of the day, if that personality doesn't win their seat, then, the cards could say, oh yeah, no, Carney's not going to win, but the Liberals end up winning. Well, the cards were right. Carney didn't win, but the Liberals did. So in Canada, we go by team. So I'm going to put the Conservatives on top and the Liberals on the bottom. Cards, did you hear that? Conservatives on top, Liberals on the bottom, because that's alphabetical. All right. Which party will be the governing party after the election, the final day of voting and election, April 28th? Conservatives on top, Liberals on the bottom, upright positive, reversals negative. Which party will be the governing party of Canada after the voting is completed on April 28th or 29th? So let's even just say, and then who will be declared the governing party within 48 hours? Conservatives on top, Liberals on the bottom. This is the final reading I am doing on this. Who will be the governing party? Upright positive, reversals negative. Shall we begin? The sun upright for Conservatives. Oh, the Tower. Well, you don't want to start with the Tower, but mind you, the Tower can always be a surprise, a good surprise. 8 of Cups upright, Knight of Pentacles in reverse. 7 of Swords upright, Knight of Cups upright. 5 of Wands in reverse, the Magician upright. Justice in reverse. 5 of Swords in reverse. Page of Swords upright, the Moon upright, the Chariot upright, the 9 of Wands in reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the Conservatives. 1, 2, 3, 4 for the Liberals. Underlying 10 of Wands in reverse. The release of the last 10 years of the stranglehold of the Liberal Party. I'm calling it right now. Conservatives are going to win. I don't even have to say my bias right here. We and the Conservatives end in full control. I did call a minority government. I am now calling it will not be a minority government because they have the Chariot, which is in full control. They'll be in full control. It's going to be the release of the last 10 years of this nonsense. I think it's going to be that Carney pulls it out of a hat. Well, we start here with the sun and the tower. I mean, come on. And the tower is followed by the Knight of Pentacles, which means they are actually caught flat-footed. No matter what they do, here's the spin doctor. Here's the media. They've had the media on their side this whole time. But it's you know what this moon reminds me of? The polling that says the Liberals are going to win. Here they are, they're quite embattled. They do not win. This is not a winning card. If this was upright, I would say they've won the battle, and it might be a minority government, but this in reverse is telling me they are still continuing to fight. They did not win the battle at all. And then the underlying, the 10 of Wands in reverse is a release of the burden of the last 10 years of the Liberal government. This is very interesting because Lori Lothian has rectified Pierre's chart, and it shows he's a Cancer rising. And look at that, Cancer rising, Cancer rising. The chariot represents the Cancerian, and it's upright. So this tells me with the Page of Swords here, it's well, it's going to be a buzz all over social media. This Justice in reverse, though, with the Five of Swords underneath, is telling me this was not fought fairly at all. Wasn't a fair fight. We got the fighting card right here. It was not a fair fight, but yet he managed to eke it out. Now, I would have preferred to see a stronger card here, but the Page is the messenger. This is my internet card. And this shows me that he is actually going to win. It's going to be a birth of a new era with, I want to say the adults will be in charge. The adults will be in charge. This tells me the Conservatives are going to win. It tells me also that Pierre is going to win his seat. We might find out afterwards that there was some hanky-panky with the election somehow, with the Justice in reverse. And also, I think he's going to still have a fight on his hands. He's going to be fighting the media quite a bit. But here, all this, the moon here tells me that it's all veiled. It's all illusion about the Liberals. This is the polls to me. The polls that and remember the polls said that Camilla was going to win, and Trump actually won. And I think they did the same thing here in Canada. They made up a bunch of the polls, so it looked like the Liberals were winning, but they actually weren't. They actually weren't. You know, in some respects, this tower, this Knight of Pentacles, actually could be Justin. This Knight of Pentacles in reverse, this could be what the tower that brought them down. And this Knight of Cups is Carney coming in, you know, light and shining armor to save the day, to save the party. Let's do some, you know, wizardy here. Let's manifest some things. But it didn't work on the people. The people saw it. They're very embattled. Very embattled. And I think we're going to see the Conservatives more in charge here. Yeah, I'm calling it. I think it's going to be more than a minority government. With the Chariot upright here is telling me they're going to be in control. So, you know, they could possibly have a minority government, but let's say the Bloc is on their side, right? And that's the thing. When you have a minority government, the Liberals, their last government was a minority government propped up by the NDP. And I really don't think the NDP are going to be in play here anymore. I think that party is going to be decimated. So he might have a conservative minority government, but I have a feeling that the Bloc is going to prop them up. So in other words, they will be in control, because if you looked at all the leaders convention or debates and everything, the bloc is not happy with the Liberals at all. So it's yeah, I'm sorry if I sound excited, but I mean, you tell me. Let's see, who has one, two, three majors? One, two, three majors. I think this tower here tells us everything we know. Justin Trudeau ruined that party. And even with Carney coming in, doing his razzle dazzle and trying to bully, really, right here, the bully card, everybody saw through the illusion. And this is not a winning card here. This is, I wonder what we're going to hear on the internet about justice, about something not being fair. Not a fair fight. That's what I keep hearing, because here's the fighting card. Not a fair fight, but he still won anyways. I think people are going to say, oh, you know what this might be? People were saying that, yeah, the clock agrees with me, that the Conservatives are going to win because of X, the internet, because they had more power on X than the Liberals did. Instead of looking themselves in the face and going, how come we lost this? What did we do wrong? They're going to blame, they're going to say it was, and just the same as they said how Trump got in, that it was, the meme war, whatever it was, they're going to say the same thing, that it wasn't a fair fight because of X or the internet. This election was won on the internet. No, it wasn't. It was won because you guys are a bunch of lying liars. Sorry, they are. Yeah, I think we're coming into a brand new era here. A new era is going to be birthed, and we're moving on from the past because of a strategy that we had, or stealing the election, or actually, this was Pierre's to lose. Yeah, there's something that's not going to be fair. Anyways, there you go. Release of the last 10 years. Conservatives are going to win, and I think they're going to be fully in control. All right. So that's my final reading on the Canadian election. I guess we'll know in 36 hours or so if I'm right or not. All right. YouTube's going to show you another video. Why don't you click on that, and I'll see you over there. Thanks for watching. Take good care. Bye.